AFTERBUZZ TV. Over 20 million weekly downloads in over 150 countries, and your number one source for after-show entertainment. AFTERBUZZ TV, the destination for TV superfans. Producing aftershows for over 300 of your favorite TV shows. Interviewing celebrities and showrunners. And bringing you behind-the-scenes exclusives. All thanks to E! Entertainment's Maria Menounos, producer Kevin Undergaro, and internet leader Akamai. Now, let the buzz begin!
What is up, AfterBuzz TV fans and Bob's Burgers fans? Welcome to Bob's Burgers Season 6, Episode 3, Hauntening, the recap show here at AfterBuzz TV. If you guys have not already done so, be sure to head over to iTunes and subscribe to us. Rate us 5 stars. Leave us reviews. We like to hear from you. Conversely, if you are listening on iTunes, you should head over to YouTube and watch us there. Subscribe to our YouTube channel and leave us a thumbs up to let us know that you love us.
That was a mouthful.
I know. Also, for any of you guys who are on Twitter, you can join in the conversation by using our hashtag ABTVBobsB. B, of course, standing for burgers. I am Emma Fyffe. You can follow me all over Twitter at Emma Fyffe, and I am joined by a fabulous panel today. Elena's laughing. Already? Okay, this is an inside joke that I need to clarify real quick, and then you guys can introduce yourselves. So it's appropriate that this is an episode that's all about haunted houses, because we're in the middle of haunted events here in LA. Elena and I both are working at Universal Studios, and part of the Terror Tram, the girl at it keeps saying fabulous. So
and
that's
as Louise
why
says, there's nothing scarier than a tour.
Yep.
I thought of you.
It's so true. It's 100% true. But yes, I'm joined by a super panel. Darn it, and that's the Kimberly thing from T2.
That's what I was going to say. I was like, I really wanted her to say super.
I can't get away. Anyway, this is the panel. Seated right next to me.
Oh my god. You can find me all over social media and being a super awesome person as A Torres 890.
What's your name?
Alexis. I can't. You ruined everything. I'm Alexis Torres. Elena.
I'm Elena. Hi. You can find me on Twitter at Alana Jordan, and I'm all right.
My name is Keith Black. You can find me on Twitter at Keith W. Black, or a website, internet, Keith W. Black. It's all the same.
Yeah, great. I love it. You just keep it simple. It's all
simple.
Keith W. Black.
Yeah, 3 syllables.
There's no like curveball where it's like Keith Black or
Keith is with a Q.
Oh,
yeah, it's super.
There you go. You keep them on their toes.
Yeah.
Man. All right. So, initial thoughts on this episode.
This is one of my favorites. I think it's on my top. One, because holy crap, just thinking about just trying to, the parents actually like bonding together and actually scaring their kids is like my favorite thing. 2, I actually work at a haunted house now. So it is fabulous.
Is there I want to ask a question. Is there anybody on this panel who's never worked a Halloween event?
I mean, I've never worked.
I was like, I'm looking at you, Lenny. Basically, what Emma said was, I already know. So.
Basically, I was saying, Keith, have you ever worked a Halloween event before?
No, but I've walked around looking pretty scared before after night out. So I bounced out in October.
That's
totally. Yeah, it's all scared.
Yeah, I give candy to kids.
Yep. I did love that they said that the thing that the haunted house was missing was scares, and they're like, we need to turn our parents into scarens.
Yes.
Because at Universal, they refer to all of the people who work in the haunted houses as scare actors.
And I just love any sort of wordplay, so I'm all about it. This is my favorite episode so far.
Of all time or of this season?
Of this season.
Okay.
Of the 3.
No, not of
the
all
3.
time.
Yeah. Just because Halloween, favorite thing ever.
That's her favorite holiday of all time.
Yes, favorite holiday. Mm-hmm. Bob's Burgers, amazing.
Yep.
Gene heavy episodes, amazing.
Yes, always. Yes. Love it.
And just the combination of having an animated boy band and having it be Halloween.
Okay.
I'm going to wait for that because I have so many thoughts.
The animated boy band was inspired. Let's just talk about that because...
Can we talk about this now?
Yeah, let's just talk about this right now because I want to hear everybody's thoughts, and yes, Alexis, go.
So, if anyone else is a giant boy band nerd like I am, a little bit of an enthusiast, you've noticed that they have taken 2 of the major boy bands from the 90s. That the first shot of them with the yellow and orange background was an NSYNC Bye 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 reference. Oh no, it's going to be May. It's going to be me.
Yeah.
And then it's
gonna be May.
I said gonna be May.
You said it
because
correctly the first time.
Gonna be May. And then the actual mansion itself was Backstreet Boys Everybody, and I was just like, this is the best thing ever.
It was just such a genius parody of the
so
Everybody
good.
music video because come on, everyone remembers that music
Yes.
video.
I was actually running it through my head as I was watching this, and I was just like, no.
Yeah.
My teeth are extra sharp.
Yes.
My body's extra heavy. I'm running through the dark.
She
I
already
love
memorized.
you so much. It's scary. I only have to hear it 3 times to fall in love. There forever.
Boys
Done.
for Now, right? That's the name of the boy band?
I believe so.
Yeah, Boys with a Z for now.
The best was my male counterpart, Alan, being switched out.
Lord, that was amazing.
I was like, what?
I love that Linda just called that out too,
Just
where she's
straight
like,
up.
I think that's a different Alan.
They just switch Allens every now and then.
I love that.
And Tina being like, no, Mom, they don't. And Bob,
Don't tell Teddy.
Don't tell Teddy.
Big Alan guy.
That's his favorite one. That's his favorite one.
He is the best one.
My dad's
is the
name
best
is
one.
Alan, so shout out to my dad. You're Teddy's favorite.
Oh, yeah, no, the whole Boys for Now music video was
so- it's
so
just gold.
great. But I also loved that, like, it was established that everybody in this family, like, secretly was listening to them because Bob knew enough to know which one was Alan and which one Teddy was obsessed with. And I loved when they were driving there and Louise was like, it was a stupid birthday. Not that I care or know any of that stuff.
And I was like, all right, Louise.
And in the tag, Bob is jamming out. So I thought,
I
I
was
don't want to sing. And then he's getting into it. And I've been victim of that so many times. Someone looks over and I'm like, I don't like this song. It's stupid.
Yeah.
And the second they turn away, I'm like,
Yes.
getting into it.
And I loved, too, the music video in the end, the random video girl in it. And how they're like, how did she get to be in this? Tina's like, she won an essay writing contest. It had to be under 20,000 words. I couldn't cut mine down.
It's understandable. I get that. Yeah, it's
Yeah, that's legit. I'm sure that
hard to
Tina's
cut.
essay was very thorough.
But I do have to say, I did win a
Shut up.
competition
You
once.
did?
Yes.
Shut up.
2 98 degrees. I got free tickets and backstage passes and brought my best friend. And then the next one, it was my best friend's birthday. My dad was resodding the lawn and I made it spell NSYNC. And then I did a whole thing. It was insane for NSYNC. And I took the guest room and
my
covered
God.
it. The ceiling, floor, everything. And took pictures. And I won and then they canceled the concert.
Oh my God!
So this episode was making up.
This was
for-
even more now. Okay,
You have no idea.
Here's my question for you, Elena. For the 98 Degrees tickets, which you had previously won, did you win those by writing an essay?
No, I did. It was a
That's
visual essay.
I don't
It
like that you
was-
put it in quotes.
That's legit.
Super misleading.
It is.
What does that mean? What did you send?
Because you had to make a
Yeah.
giant poster.
Picture.
It had to be
Oh,
a
okay, you
clever
made a poster.
phrase,
Okay.
and it had to be artistic. So it wasn't really an essay. It was just like a snippet.
A snippet, a collage of sorts.
My mind is so blown right now. It's
I used
ridiculous.
so much glitter.
I bet you did.
I love
And
it.
props to your dad again for letting you like put his sod in NSYNC.
he was
like,
in the
that's-
picture.
What?
I have a picture of him just like
What am I
Next
gonna do?
to
I've got a
it.
daughter.
He was secretly a Lance Bass fan, wasn't he?
he was all Backstreet Boys.
I mean,
he was like, what?
So Nick
Carter
Carter.
in your
then,
son.
yeah.
Oh, that's
Yeah,
Carter
Jasmine
and
Sullivan.
Brian tie for first.
Okay.
Brian.
All right. So the main premise of this episode, of course, is that Louise is claiming that she has never been scared in her life, and she really, really wants to get scared. Here is the thing: is Louise has been scared before.
I was gonna say, wasn't it
on
the
this
other
show?
I was like, wasn't it when they got trapped
In the
with
mausoleum
Yeah.
in Tina
Yeah.
and the Real Ghost last season in the Halloween episode.
See, I was thinking of when they were stuck in that cardboard fort, and the truck was in front of them.
yeah.
She
Other
was
Halloween
freaking-
episode.
Yeah, she
Yeah.
was like freaking out because she's like, "We're gonna die in here."
Yeah, well, and also in that episode last season where they went up to that like beach house that
Yes,
Teddy
yes.
was taking care of some of the stuff there, and we're pretty sure that the wife had murdered her husband. Like
Yeah.
Tina, Louise rather has been scared in previous
But
episodes.
not by a haunted house.
Yeah.
Yes,
That was
that's
the whole
also
thing,
true. It's always
was
been
that
like real life situations.
Tina and Jean, and it was just replaying all of the
Right.
images of them in the haunted houses specifically. So it was a Halloween scare.
Right.
Right.
So this was them incorporate. The only way to scare Louise, as we've seen,
Right.
is to put her in what
In
she
a
thinks
life
is real life
threatening,
situation.
yeah,
No,
life-threatening
absolutely.
situation.
Well, and that is the thing, is like it didn't really bother me because the thing is ultimately this is an incredibly episodic series. So it doesn't necessarily have to be totally 100% correct as far as continuity, quote unquote, goes from episode to episode. So it didn't really bother me, but they definitely did go out of their way to set up the premise of very specifically it was haunted houses.
Yeah.
And I liked all the flashbacks to the haunted houses that they animated.
Oh, so cool.
Yeah, montage fixes every scripting error. You're like, oh, we need to explain this. Oh, I forgot. Montage. We'll just montage it really quick, and we'll just pretend it's geeky or stupid, and everyone will love it.
But I love it because as a person who works at a haunted house, if you don't know which one it is, and if you do live in SoCal, it's the Pierce Community College haunt. I usually do makeup, or I'm a weird doll who's like, and like runs around.
What do you like again?
I'm not going to do it again. The one-time deal.
It's a work thing.
Oh, thanks. I gotta save my voice, guys. But it was just really cool when, like, I can't remember what character he was, but he jumped out and she's like, I could smell you, like, a while ago.
Oh my gosh, that was amazing.
There's a guy that we used to work with, and he just wore just, like, Axe cologne, and it was just the worst. And you're just like, dude, you need to just stop, because people can smell you before they get inside
But
the haunt.
Axe gets all the ghouls.
No, Alexis is leaving and flipping the table. The show is over. No, it's not.
You're welcome, and I'm sorry.
No, but the cologne thing to me was really super funny too, and it wasn't. And this was actually not in regards to his character, but a guest that was on my Terror Trail last week.
No.
I was like, oh, maybe a little less cologne. So it was just really funny that they brought up that really specific detail.
Oh man, that's so
and
funny.
exactly, and it's just about how like Louise can see all the scares coming from a mile away. Now, are you guys people that like enjoy getting scared for the sake of being scared, or do you see the scares coming?
Nope.
Well, I love haunted houses.
No, me
but
too.
I don't really get. I've kind of become jaded by them, but I also grew up with a cousin who makes all of this stuff.
Yeah.
So,
Oh, okay, that makes sense.
yeah.
that
So
makes
to me,
sense.
I like going and just looking at all of it and seeing it from a technical perspective.
Totally.
But if
Lights are on.
something,
Yes.
no, it's cool with all the
Yeah.
the
Yeah.
atmosphere to see how they set up kind of the
Absolutely.
environment.
Yes.
I think of it very cinematically, but if something can pop out and get like the boo scare,
Yeah.
then I appreciate it.
Yeah.
Oh,
Like, I'm not one to go to a horror movie, or like, I just feel like Louise, I'm going to predict, okay, this is going to happen. It's going to be the same typical thing. But I started dating my girlfriend, and I didn't know that she loves just scaring the hell out of you. And I didn't know. And it would be like ridiculous situations. 2 a.m, I'd open the bathroom door, and she'd be hiding like right there. I'd be like, what are you doing? You're an adult. And she's like, what? You don't like getting scared? I'm like, no. Nobody likes getting scared. Like, it's ridiculous.
That's not true.
I want to be friends with your girlfriend. That sounds awesome.
It's the best time too when you go to a haunted house, you're planning on getting scared.
Yeah.
Like, that's what you're going into. But when you
Yeah,
don't expect it,
absolutely.
it's the worst. And you're just like,
Yeah.
you're like, I'm throwing fisticuffs right now.
See,
You're terrifying me.
that doesn't fly in my house because all of my parents, my brothers, and I were all martial artists. So like, if you try to scare somebody, you will get hurt. There's a reason why my parents don't go to things. But like, I'm the complete opposite. I don't mind making people look scary, bloody, hurt, or whatever. But if they make me go through the haunt, I'm crying. I don't know what it is. I can't do it.
That's so interesting.
Isn't it
It's
weird?
not for me.
Doesn't make sense. I don't know.
Yeah, because I have very much the opposite experience where because I've spent the past 4 years working Halloween events and I've spent so much time going through mazes, I can now go in there and see every single place where a character might be hiding and jump out.
I like that you stick to calling them scares.
That's what they are. That's what they are.
They're
No, my boyfriend is currently working at Horror Nights as a character. So,
Yeah.
Scarrant.
That's amazing.
Yes,
We'll call them Scarant for the sake of
Scarant. So anyway, so the premise of the episode is that they're going to take Louise to a haunted house yet again, and this time they're gonna get her because Bob and Linda planned it.
Did you guys actually think that they were going to go through, like they were actually going to succeed, or did you think, oh, it's just going to be Bob and Linda just doing something real stupid?
You know, when they showed up to the haunted house, and it was real stupid, it did not take me long to predict the ending.
Yeah,
I'll put
same
it
here.
that way.
Yeah.
Same
I'll
here.
put it that way.
I did like the Bob looked like Bob Ross though.
Yes, that was so funny.
So we're just gonna go ahead and put some grapes right over here.
Yeah.
Yep. Like, Linda, you forgot the grapes, and that's the best part. Is that Gene has a grape guy, and he's like, I got a grape guy. You want me to call the grape guy? It's like, that's amazing.
Gene has a guy
So
for
many
everybody.
good one-liners
Yeah.
in this episode.
So many good one-liners in this
Everything
episode.
was spot on.
Yeah,
It's gonna be great.
Yeah,
He's a cynical 35-year-old man, like a 50-year-old
yeah,
man
no, he
in
really-
a boy's body.
He totally is. Yeah, I loved when they were just driving into the neighborhood, admiring the surroundings. They're like, it's scary already. Look, there's old people. Old people are scary.
Yes, yes,
like,
it
all
is.
right,
It is
Bob.
scary.
I just love when they're in the haunted house and they see the doll with the
Oh my
secondary
God.
one, and
Oh, yeah.
Jean is like, "That's not an efficient use of that room." It's brilliant.
I love how Louise was just like, yeah, sticks. I mean, what's happening there? And I was like, did you become a scared Seinfeld? Like, what happened? That's
Yeah.
weird.
What's up with sticks?
What's up with
But
sticks?
I will say, even if it's inconsistent from episode to episode, sometimes I love that they have, whereas most animated shows, if they have a change of location, they don't really explain it. Whereas this one, they're like, wait, did you
buy a
buy a
house?
house
Yes.
to do a haunt?
No, that
Just
was
like
amazing.
explain it
They're like, we'll
later.
explain everything later. No, that was great. Like, and once again, it was so great that the kids just called that out. Because that's really weird. Your parents just drive you to this house in the middle of nowhere. Did you buy a house?
That'd be phenomenal, wouldn't it?
I mean, that'd be
Did
great.
you buy a house? Yes.
I was like, man,
yes.
Bob, you're making
I
some
know.
really good money at your burger place.
Some of those porta potties from last week.
I
With
knew
the-
it. It was because of the
exactly.
porta potty.
Yes.
And that flip phone that, you know, was big
Oh my
money.
gosh,
Did
that
anybody-
flip phone. I mean, they've previously established the flip phone, but it's so funny.
Someone needs to clarify for me because I feel like both Louise, Tina, and Jean, I feel like they've had phones before.
the kids have had cell.
Okay.
The kids had an
I was freaking
emergency
out.
cell phone that they
Okay.
shared.
Okay.
That when Tina was being a rebel, she started
Lord.
texting, you
Lord
know,
have mercy.
with Tammy. And
Time's
not
a bad
good.
influence.
Yeah, so I was like really confused because I was like, wait, why does Bob have the only phone? Are they back to sharing one phone? I'm so confused.
And
no. Yeah, but for whatever reason, Bob was the only one who had a phone.
So funny.
in
For the sake
this
of plot.
For the sake of plot.
Yeah.
And
For
it's
the
like
sake
a
of the plot.
burner. It looks like a burner. It's a drug dealer. It's a drug
No,
dealer's cell phone.
it totally did.
I love how Jean, it's getting dark, it's getting dark.
I did love so much. One of my favorite moments of the episode was when the kids decided to turn on their parents and scare them.
Yes.
Yes.
And they went out in the leaf pile.
She was naked?
Was naked. And he's like, Jane,
change the subject.
You're making it weird.
He's
now.
like, I scared the pants off of you.
And also, I was warm.
Yeah, and I was like, I was warm, and I was like, all right, Jean.
Sure, sounds wonderful,
Jean, put your clothes back on.
Well, and then another great line from Jean came when they had switched over to, oh no, all of the Belchers are in danger, and they were being approached by like the guy with the snippers, and Jean's like, Dad, I'm having a great childhood. Not currently, but I just want you to know that in general.
I just, because I have to point out every fart joke as
Oh,
previously as
thank
that
you.
was really good.
When he's like,
though.
it's wind, it's inside wind. And he's like, I know all about inside wind. I know about it right now. Sorry, guys.
This is apologetic.
Yeah, exactly.
He
He's a
knows that,
gentleman.
and he admits that it's him.
Yeah, but that's the thing is,
Gene and I are
I enjoyed that it was that it was a well executed fart joke because in children's programming,
classic.
as I am learning since I'm covering some children's shows, they
too.
have very poorly executed fart jokes. So it was
Yeah.
really nice to see a really classy one in
I
Bob's Burgers.
appreciate a good fart joke.
Yeah.
I really do.
No, I think Jean just has really good timing when it comes to his. That might be a weird line, but to his body and what
Yeah,
it
to his like bodily humor.
humor. Yeah, no, it's
You
like
need
it's
to
always
love your
spot
body.
on.
No,
And he
I
does.
didn't point out the burger either.
Oh,
I always point out
yeah.
the fart jokes, the burger, and the
burger.
building.
Yep.
Yes.
It was radish something, wasn't
Breaking radish.
Breaking
for
radish,
dinner.
yeah.
And it just comes with radishes.
Yep.
I wanted
With
to
a
do
side
like,
of radishes.
I wanted it to be like we do a recipe for what it is, and
Yeah.
so far all of them have just been like, it comes with this. It's a regular burger.
Someday, I think that we should all agree that when they have a really interesting sounding burger, we create a recipe for
I
it.
think that Bob's Burgers, like the marketing team, I think that you guys should make a Bob's Burgers
There,
cookbook.
I do believe that there is a Bob's Burgers
Okay.
cookbook.
I didn't
yeah,
know.
There should
Sorry.
be.
Yeah,
Don't hate me.
if it doesn't already exist, it is being made, and
Yes.
you will be able to own it soon.
In every Urban Outfitters ever.
Every urban, that
That's
is
exactly-
prime,
so true.
prime
Right
Urban
next to the
Outfitters
pot leaf
merchandise.
stash. Like the flask.
Yep, that is absolutely gonna happen.
And the ice trays that
yeah.
look like skeletons.
Or like Lincoln's head. You're like,
Another of my favorite lines from Jean in this episode came in that the final moment where they're all up on the roof and the guys are in the cloaks and they're coming towards them,
so
and the ring of
creepy.
fire bursts up, and Jean goes, is this Burning Man? Because if so, I don't like it.
I was
Yes,
sitting there
I
going,
love
oh
that
my God.
one.
Close.
I mean, that's actually very true. My roommates and all of my friends, they're all burners, so that's like a thing. So I see like all their pictures and stuff, and I'm just like, I can't do that.
Is that the nickname? That's their nickname?
Burners,
They
yeah,
called
that's
burners?
that's what they're called.
Oh, that's the worst
Yeah,
nickname.
that is what they call them.
That's
Yeah.
what they're called.
They should market a revamp on the nickname. I think you should get to choose your own nickname, or at least have some input into it.
Well, I mean, like they have their own different camps, so they have different names. But a person who goes to Burning Man, like just the general public, they're called
Burner,
burners.
like the phone that fell off the roof.
I was like,
Full circle.
Oh snap! Yeah, it was. I also liked when the three guys were approaching in the robes because they'd called the tow truck from the landline, and it was like tow, and tow, and so they're approaching, and Linda goes, "Oh, maybe that's tow 1, tow 2, and tow 3." Like,
It was so
This
good.
is amazing.
yeah. Now, did you all guess the ending?
yes.
It was pretty evident.
But you were able to predict that it was going to be the musical at the end?
No, not that. Just that it was
music-
going to be.
Oh, like
You
how
know,
the whole
not an
thing-
actual-
Yeah,
Gotcha.
that Bob and Linda had not actually done
yeah,
a terrible
yeah.
haunted house.
Yeah, I know.
That they were behind everything that happened after the end of the terrible haunted
I
house.
didn't think that Tina and Jean were going to be in on it.
And
true.
oh,
I had
okay,
no idea. I was like, oh, it's probably just Bob, Linda, Teddy, and whoever else they can get.
right.
Yeah, I didn't think that any of the kids would be
I
involved.
guessed all the way down to Mort, his mom, and his mom's new boyfriend.
I didn't think about. I was like, I didn't know about boyfriend, but I didn't know Mort was involved. I was like, he's in the episode. He has to be part of it.
I love that the guys, the old man, we're just taking things, we're just having fun and seeing where things go. And then
Yep.
he's like the
was so
75-year-old
great.
man, and we're just seeing where
And
things
Jean's
go.
like, no labels.
Yeah,
I
no
get
labels.
ya.
That was great.
Jean again, coming through with
Yeah.
the adult.
This was a
Jean's like my favorite character.
Great episode for Jean. I mean, when is it not a great episode for Jean?
Always a great episode.
But this was a particularly excellent episode for Jean.
This one gets the gold star for Gene fart jokes, which is part of why it's my favorite.
Exactly.
my word.
I'm still just taken away a little bit by how they tagged it out with the musical. I didn't expect that at all. With the
with the
episode
music
flowing
video,
along, and
yeah.
then it goes into the music video. I was like, oh wow, didn't expect that.
I
Like,
agree that also took me by surprise. In fact, so they had basically the like Scooby-Doo reveal of like, we were all behind this the whole time.
Yeah.
And then it just cuts right to the music video.
I was like really confused. I was like, wait, what is this? Is this? Are we still watching? What?
Well,
Yeah.
because I mean, they had previously discussed when the kids were like this, when Louise was like, "Oh, this haunted house is lame. We should probably just go home." And Linda was like, "Oh, I was gonna spin my head around and throw up on your dad like old times." They're like, "Linda, you could do that at home." She's like, "Okay." So like there was discussion about going home to enjoy the rest of their Halloween festivities in front of their television set, which is, essentially what happened with the kids being all gathered around the laptop watching the music video. But it was such a weird transition into it.
I loved it because for me, it was they've already established the trick, and there's still enough time for the treat.
Look at you go.
Really bringing almost the
Halloween.
puns. Yeah, that's good. I can't wait to see what you bring for Christmas. That's gonna be super impressive.
Well,
Not for me.
I cap out here.
that's it.
It's all downhill.
Any final thoughts? Anything that anybody else wants to bring up that they enjoyed on this episode, no matter when in the course of it had happened?
No, I'm sad because I want more Halloween episodes.
I know.
I was a little sad that it was early this time. I was like,
Yeah. I feel like they always do that with TV
do,
shows, though.
though.
The Halloween episode is
Yeah.
always several weeks before.
Yeah.
Well, they
just
wanted to
weird to
play
me.
for a couple weeks, make sure everybody gets to see it.
Well, also the World Series, I think. Throwing a
Yeah.
kink in there.
I
Look
forgot
at
about
you.
that.
Baseball.
Nothing's more American than Halloween.
Totally.
I will say I love too that we finally get to see Louise stoked on her family and
That's true.
admitting
Yeah.
That was
outwardly
great.
that she
Yeah.
loved and that you're the best family in the whole world.
Yeah.
I couldn't get over, I don't know if this is just a me thing, but the sponges, like how Bob's like, no, you don't have to, like that stuck out so much because I feel like a sponge has this lifespan that once you go past that day, that sponge is going to be on you forever. Like that smell will not go away. And I'm like, Bob, man, I get you. Like I try to make it last as long as I can. Sometimes it's just too long.
I know. It's that is a really accurate life observation right there. I mean, who hasn't had a sponge that they've tried to make last for
It's
too long?
SpongeBob's burgers. Not that one last bad pun.
Thank you.
There it is.
I know that the Pestos weren't involved, but I would have liked the twins to be there. I think it would have
yeah.
ruined everything, but I think it'd be really funny to see
If
them
they like tried
banging
to make
the
them like
wall.
shining twins.
That would have been
enough
great.
time.
Just a
They'd be
little
like,
cutaway.
yeah, and they would have been like, "What are you doing here?" And they're like, "Oh, we
Yeah.
followed you."
You know what?
Yeah.
Broke
You know
into your
what?
truck.
I gotta agree with you actually on that, Alexis. I think it would have been really funny to see more of the town get involved and just how even more terrible the bad haunted house would have been.
I think you just wrote their next year's episode.
There you go. You're welcome, Bob's Burgers showrunner. Talk to me. Just give me some money.
Write me a check at Emma Fyffe.
All right, awesome. So that's that. I think that's a great
So
place.
let them know where they can find you on Twitter to
Well,
send you your
exactly.
check.
Well, you can find me on Twitter at Emma Fyffe. You can tweet at me, be like, at Emma Fyffe, we love your idea for the script. Please write it for us, and we will pay you money and also put you on the writing staff for Bob's Burgers. I think this is going to work out great for me.
That's so bold. I like it.
Exactly.
I don't know
Give
if
me
that's
my
140
demands.
characters.
Nah, it's going to have to go over several
The
tweets.
direct message.
Yeah, DMs. That's the way to go. You can find me at atorres890. Also, I'm having my 100th vlog coming up real soon, so I'm doing a Q&A. So you guys, another hashtag to throw at you is AskAtorres890.
Nice. And I am Elena Jordan. You can find me on Twitter at Elena Jordan and on Instagram at That Elena Jordan Girl.
And my name is Keith Black, and you can find me on Twitter and the internet at KeithWBlack.com or at KeithWBlack.
And you can find all of us here again next week, same time, same place, for another episode of the Bob's Burgers After Show. In the meantime, guys, you can keep tweeting at us using that hashtag ABTVBobsB, and we'll see you all again next week.
From executive producers Maria Menounos, Kevin Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and the entire AfterBuzz TV staff, we would like to thank you for listening to the AfterBuzz TV network. To watch or listen to other after shows and post comments or questions, be sure to visit AfterBuzzTV.com. I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, and this has been a presentation of AfterBuzz TV.
Buzz you later.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.